perspective, I think we all know the fact that the mobile devices or smart devices are today dwarfing the growth of PCs. Right? When you look at the business intelligence report which came across, as of today, there are roughly around 350 million PCs which are out there in the market. Right? But if you look at the combined population of the smart devices and tablets together, it's over 1 billion. And we are not even talking about intelligent devices which we are not even interacting with on a daily basis, which is something which people are looking at future as well. And what the expectation is coming across is that the PCs are going to stagnate, right? I've seen a lot of reports over the last 5 to 10 years today which always keeps talking about the death knell of PCs and how PCs are going to die. But the reality is PCs have not died as yet. On the contrary, there is a growth. While the growth might be limited, there might be a smaller percentage of growth, but the PCs are still going to exist. They're going to coexist with what we have, right? But the smart devices and what we're seeing as tablets are going to be seeing an exponential growth, which is going to change the way we look at interacting with people, right? And of course, the growth rates which we've seen in terms of what PCs which came up in the 80s, the internet which came up in the 90s, and what we're talking about even the social media, the growth of the smart devices is much, much faster than any of these aspects today. While companies keep talking about the fact that we have bring your own devices to work, which is coming across, it's becoming more and more prevalent. We're seeing that. We've had situations where financial services organizations have only came up with hardened PCs and the fact that I'll give you a hardened device like a BlackBerry, and that's all adhering to my security standards, and you can't use anything else. But over the last couple of years, especially since the iPhone and the iPads came into picture, and the Android devices have really increased in their population, we're seeing that IT setups have had to open up their entire security channels, the firewalls, to allow for these devices to come into picture. And even organizations which have been very risk-averse, not wanting to open up, have been forced to do that with both tablets and with the smartphones coming into play. And that's where these statistics which came across are very, very interesting. While people kept trying to push back in terms of saying no access to corporate systems, the reality is mobile devices have made a mark in the market itself today. And you can't get away from that. The biggest challenge which people have had in the past has obviously been something which Hitesh covered in his presentation as well, as do I look at mobile as just another channel where whatever I've developed as a website can actually just be ported on the mobile device. So it's going back 10 years or 12 years back when people looked at it as a WAP terminal, wireless access protocol, WAP, that's it. Just have a wireless kind of a website available. But today, where people are actually expecting and demanding a kind of a user experience. Because in the past few years, we've seen that everybody's talking about a user experience platform. Nobody talks about things as portals anymore. Nobody talks about just as a website. People are talking about how do I give a good user experience. Gartner itself has been talking about a UXP platform, and there's an IBM stack, there's a Microsoft stack, there's an Oracle stack. But ultimately what users are expecting is a very simplified experience which comes across, whether I'm on the web, whether on the mobile, and it's actually fine-tuned to that particular channel itself. And something which Gartner came up is by 2015, the mobile application development activities are going to actually far outstrip what we see as the web development activities today. Talking about a 4:1 factor, right? So that means there is a huge opportunity for all of us to relook at how we are approaching the entire mobile application development strategies, right? And what we've done in the past may not necessarily work. We have to relook at the entire approach.